Rohan, did you get out of that what you hoped to get?
I had hoped to get an indication of individuals and where they were at physically and footy-wise, and I think I got a pretty accurate appraisal of each player. I thought the more experienced players and the players at the front end of our squad showed a lot of promising signs and looked fit and healthy. We chopped and changed a lot, and we lacked any real cohesion, which we expected.
Is it tempting in those games to try and keep players on longer to see a bit more cohesion, or is it simply this is just a sort of a tick box, get people some minutes under the belt?
We had a plan for each player, and we tried to stick to that, and pretty much did. So that meant that you can't take a whole bunch of them off at the same time, because you've still got to have people to play that position. So given that we could only use 21 players, that there was some limitations to playing with cohesion in order to play each player the amount of time we thought was reasonable and sensible at this point in time.
You played a lot of players in multiple positions as well during the game. Was that part of the plan all along to just give...
There's a few, but most the players that did that need to be able to play more than one position. So, I see these games as opportunity to do that.
You spoke quite highly of Leon Ruin the other day. He had some decent minutes, set up Crew's try. What do you think of his performance?
Leon found out what it's like playing against some Super League experienced. I don't know who finished the game there for the opposition, but at various times there, they were a very experienced team there today, which was fantastic for players like Leon to get that exposure against a well-credentialed and experienced opposition. Leon did some nice things, and he's just learning his way. He's on a 3-year deal, and really, if he's a regular Super League player before the 3rd year, that'll be a bonus. He's a project, but he did okay.
Injury-wise, I think the club already confirmed Ash Hanley and James McDonald was precautionary. Cruz at the end, was he?
James was always only going to play 40 minutes. He obviously played in the World Cup with Ireland, so he hadn't had as long a prep as maybe I'd like, but he was fit and raring to go, and I thought it was a good opportunity to get him in front of the home crowd, and he made a good account of himself. Cruz felt like if he had a few more minutes, he would have been all right. And in a real game, a competitive game, you probably don't make that substitution. But he came off because we could. Who was the other one? Ash Hanley had some kind of oblique or core niggle. He was only going to play half the game anyway, so he pretty much got to there.
How do you think the Morgan Gannon experiment went?
You guys may call it an experiment. I think everything is an experiment because you're always trying to make something better. You're testing things. I thought Gano played well.
And no set restarts, was that deliberately agreed between the clubs beforehand?
Not that I'm aware. There was almost no penalties until a token one at the end, which was incorrect also.
The shot dropout.
There was one for a ruck, lost ball. Where he called a, but I thought he let the game be played. It was slow. There was a lot of, as per flip-flops and second efforts and slowing the ruck down. But it was good that there wasn't a lot of penalties, in my opinion.
Was there any particular reason why Jack Sinfield wasn't involved today?
Jack had a groin issue a couple of weeks ago that held him back out of training for 10, 12 days probably, and then he also had an illness on the back of that. So he's sort of back to full training-ish, nearly. So for an 18-year-old kid, I wasn't prepared to throw him out there.
Is there any other sort of injury concerns in the squad? We obviously know about the guys who've had surgery. Is everyone else fit and raring to go?
Everyone that was fit and raring to go had a game today. Is there anyone in...
I just mean guys who are coming back from World Cup, are they all in good shape?
I've bumped into Reece Martin a few times around the city. He looks in good shape. Zane Tedovano came back the other day and got started. He's never not in great shape. Anyone else that you in particular? Yeah, the other guys that are extended sort of outs have already been documented. Surgery, or in Nene's case, not a surgery, but a 3-month sort of injury.
I think you've got about 4 weeks now to the next game. What does that block of pre-season look like? How do you, what changes, what stays the same between now and now?
It looks hard. The next 6 days are off for everyone, but when we resume, we'll be building it up and getting some hard work in, leading into that next friendly against Lee.